Hey, when we come back, we'll be
Yeah.
talking more. Again, we're talking to Bert Dohmen, his old friend. He's in Hawaii again. He's my neighbor there. When I was just starting out, he was infamous. He still is infamous. A lot of times people don't like what he calls because most people are bullish, and Bert will rise up when he's bearish, and he's pretty accurate. So this is August 2020. The reason I say that, this world is changing so fast right now. You've got to know, you know, August 2019 was completely different than August 2020. So Bert is the publisher of the Wellington Letter. His last letter was so accurate, sent chills up my spine. So when we come back, Bert, I'm a big gold investor, and then your things that you warned, and you warned me well that it was going to come down, but I got your letter a day too late. Anyway, with that said, the reason we have the Rich Dad Radio Show is we present different points of view. I was just on the phone with my friend Peter Schiff, and he's saying buy more gold. We had Harry Dent on, and he says sell all the gold you got. So, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere in between, somebody's right. So when Bert comes back, he's going to give us his point of view and his forecast on those of you who are like me, who are gold bugs. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show, the good news and bad news about money. You can listen to the Rich Dad Radio program anytime, anywhere. And I called it in 2016, but what I didn't see when I called it, and you can see me on on CNN with Wolf Blitzer calling the crash of Lehman Brothers. But anyway, it's here now. And we've had David Stockman, who was Reagan's budget director, and I asked him what would Reagan do that Trump's not doing. We've had Chris Powell of GATA, which is a gold antitrust, because the gold market and silver markets are completely manipulated by the big banks. He explains why you shouldn't touch gold and silver ETFs, but that's his point of view. And then we just had Harry Dent, and Harry Dent is calling for the biggest effing crash coming, and he says gold's going to go down to $1,000. Then my friend Peter Schiff and Jim Rickards are calling for it to keep going up. And today we have Bert Dohmen, who was the head of, and he's an old friend, not old, but he's a friend for years and years and years. He's Dohmen Capital Research, and his last Wellington Letter, which I highly recommend everybody subscribe to. It'll make you money, but more importantly, save you money. And it's well written, simple. It's educational. It's not technical. It's not just telling you buy this, buy that. Bert explains what's going on underneath what's going on. So it's Wellington Letter, and Bert's going to talk about now, because the question I have for him is that Folios is a service of Dohmen Capital.
Yeah, well, we actually formed a different company for that,
Right.
Dohmen Strategies.
Good.
But the URL is the website,
Yeah.
hedgefolios.com.
Okay, so what's your because in your last Wellington Letter, again, this is August 2020, you were precise on the correction in the gold market. So you have any forecasts on gold and silver?
Yeah, we put out a gold report. In fact, people can get it free. It was about a week ago. And just go to our website, domencapital.com, and you can get that gold report. We're very bullish. In 1980, we actually gave a forecast, a very long-term forecast, based on extensive research of long-term cycles. And this is when gold was around $700, something like that. And we said we're going to go into a 20-year bear market in gold right now. And people thought that was insane because everybody was looking for $3,000.
Well, that's why everybody hated you in Hawaii, Bert.
1980. Pardon?
I was one of those guys that, how can he be saying that?
Yeah.
Because I was really bullish on gold. Of course, I was selling at 8, so I was happy. But anyway, I just said, how can you be saying that about gold? But anyway, that's how accurate you are. That was a long time ago.
At the same time, I said, but what's really interesting is the cycles then call for a 30-year bull market. And I even wrote, I said, I have no idea what would cause a 30-year bull market in gold. So what happened? 20 years later, exactly 20 years later, it was astonishing to us even, because cycles move a little bit to the left or to the right. But this one was right on. 2001 was the bottom in gold, and 2002 was the start of the next bull market.
Right.
So now we've got a 20-year bull market again in gold. It just hit a new high last week. And a new high like that is going to have a lot of resistance, a lot of sellers. And so now we say, yes, the secular bull market is probably still intact. That means another 10 years to the upside. But we got to have a juicy correction. And people forget 2011. Gold mining stocks in 2011 went down about 80%, as measured by the ETF for the gold miners. 80% from 2011. Everybody was so bullish. Nobody thought that gold could go down. Stocks lost 80% of their value. Now, I ask you, if you think you're a long-term investor, could you stay invested with an 80% decline in your mining stocks? I don't think so. In fact, there was one major hedge fund manager. He had a gold fund, and he lost about 90%. So the gold corrections. You said it before that the gold and silver markets are highly manipulated. And when everybody has record bullish sentiment, as we saw over the last month, the insiders, the manipulators take advantage of that. They sell into it, and they sell short in order to make money.
Okay,
so
hey, Bert,
technically,
Bert,
the downside for us is about a $500 decline in gold.
Yeah, I'm just going to say one thing. You guys had better subscribe to Bert's letter, the Wellington Letter, because what he's covering here, he's covering in every one of his issues. The most important thing, he keeps it simple, and there's pictures with charts, but you can't see the charts now. So that's why the Wellington Letter is priceless. I mean, I was sitting there shocked at how accurate your last, this is August 2020. You're so precise. I thought you were the guy manipulating the market. But anyway, again, tell us how much does that letter cost, and what other services does Dohmen Capital sell about money? Once again, listen to the Rich Dad Radio program anywhere on iTunes or Android and YouTube. And please leave us a comment whenever you listen. All of our programs are archived at richdadradio.com. We archive them because we make no recommendations. We don't sell stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, gold, or silver. But we're pretty controversial. So we're purely educational. Listen to this program again. We only bring on people we believe are sincerely credible. And you'll find that all of our guests don't agree. So listen to this podcast again, and you'll learn twice as much. But most importantly, discuss this. Listen, have your friends, family, and business associates listen to it and discuss it, and you'll find your financial intelligence go through the roof. So, and if you have a question, use hashtag AskRichDad on social media, and we'll answer the question. But the kind of the interesting news is we've had 4 guests on: David Stockman, Reagan's budget director. We've had Chris Powell, head of GATA, who talks about how gold and silver are suppressed in price. Then we've had Harry Dent, who's calling for gold to go to 1,000. And then we've had Bert Dohmen, who publishes the Wellington Letter. They're all saying the same thing. We're going for a crash. The difference is, what do you do?